Chloe, otherwise known as Princess Aspian, and welcome to my channel. I don't even know where to start with this video. Like, I literally do not know how to start with this video. I met Niall Horan again. What? Also, I just want to let you guys know, if I'm looking really, really rough in this video, I'm really, really tired and really just like bags deeper than the Atlantic Ocean. I have a grade 2 brain concussion at the moment. I'm like smiling and giggling while I'm saying I have a concussion. What sort of psychopath am I? I got kicked in the head by my 600 kilo quarter horse a few days ago, and I have brain trauma and a concussion. The doctor said that I was going to be a little bit ditzy for the next few days, which really isn't that much off my normal self. So if I'm kind of a little bit like weird or off or wacky in this video, I'm concussed, okay? I am concussed. Give me a break. No, let's get back onto the story anyway. So as I'm sure a lot of you know, I got the opportunity to meet Niall twice in September last year, which a lot of you have already seen the video. It's got like nearly 20,000 hits on it, which is crazy because it's literally just like 25 minutes of me actually crying. And that's literally all this video is going to be as well. So click off now if this isn't your thing. I'm sorry. I'm also gonna try and speak a lot slower because I know that when I get excited, I turn into like a cheater on steroids. So I'm going to try and calm, but chances are that's not happening. Also, there is a rooster outside who is crowing very loudly, so just mind that. So as a lot of you know, I got to meet Niall in September last year twice. The first one was a planned meet and greet that I won tickets to. The other time was completely spontaneous and I didn't even know I was gonna be meeting him, and I met him in a car park, which sounds really kind of creepy, but it's not. It actually kind of is. You can watch the video if you want to find out more about that, but this one's about the one that I met him this time. So as a lot of you know, Niall is currently on his Flickr World Tour where he had meet and greet packages available. They went on sale in September, like the day after I had met him last time. If you guys know anything about tickets, you know that once they go on sale, they sell out really, really, really quickly. And these ones literally sold out, like, I think they went on sale at like 12 o'clock maybe, and they were sold out before 12:01. They were gone from every single state. I even tried New Zealand and everything, and they were gone. They were just like, whoop, gone. Oh, okay, whatever, it wasn't meant to be. It doesn't really matter that much. I've already met him twice. That's more than most people ever get. I was gutted, obviously. I was gutted because I really wanted to meet him again, but I didn't, and I was like, okay, that's fine, whatever. 6 hours later, I was looking on Ticketek again. I think I was looking for like musicals for me and my pa to go to together, and I was reminiscing over the fact that I didn't have Niall meet and greet tickets, and I clicked on the link and it popped up saying meet and greet tickets like still available, and I was like, what the heck? Oh my gosh, what is going on? So I clicked on the ticket and I got it in the cart and everything, and I was like, this can't be real, this can't be real. I ended up getting a ticket for meet and greet in Sydney. Got a ticket to meet Niall again in Sydney. Oh my, we've been trying all morning. I've literally been trying to get tickets all single morning, and then I got a ticket just then. Oh my god, I'm actually, oh my god. What? Like, these tickets had sold out. They were all gone. They had been gone for hours. And then I ended up getting a ticket front and center. Jesus is truly looking after me. If anyone ever asks me why I'm Christian, this is the reason. He blesses me with ticket opportunities. Whew. Let's talk about the fact how this happened. Yeah, let's move on to this. Okay. Whew. June came very, very quickly, and I was on my way to meet Niall. I'm not gonna go through the whole experience of like getting there and like everything and like the whole Sydney trip and whatever, because I've done that before. You guys have seen that sort of stuff before. You guys don't care about the Sydney trip. You guys care about Niall. So do I. That's all I care about. That's all I care about in my life, to be honest. Let's talk about it. Okay. So with the meet and greet package, you also get to go into soundcheck, and you also get to go in early and all that sort of good stuff. So I went there with one of my friends. Her name's also Chloe. So we went there together. We both had meet and greet packages. So we went in together. We got there at about 3 or 3:30-ish, which was pretty much near the very end of when you were allowed to check in. Basically, the way it works is it's first in, best dressed. So if you get there first and you get to meet him first and you get to be first in for soundcheck and all of that. I didn't want to be first. I wanted to be last because I didn't want to, I needed time to prepare myself. I needed time to be like, whoop, okay, chill, calm. So we were all waiting in line. I don't know how many of us there were. We went in and they gave us our posters and they gave us our lanyards and they gave us all that sort of stuff. We were all in line. We were all waiting. I was literally having a panic attack in line waiting. I was so terrified. I actually had medics coming over to me and just being like, are you okay? And I'm like, probably not, but like, let's do it. I was so terrified of going in and meeting him again that I was trying to delay it, which sounds so weird, but I was literally trying to delay it as long as possible. So meet and greet happened first, and I was way at the back of the line, so there was heaps and heaps and heaps of people in front of me, and you could see the curtain that he was behind. And it happened so quick, like people were just going like, it was like they were on a conveyor belt, and it was just constant streams. Person going in, camera, person going out, person going in, camera, person going out. It was just nuts. It was hectic. It was chaotic. Everyone was walking out and everyone just seemed totally chill. And I'm like, you have literally just witnessed the reincarnation of Jesus being born again and you are so calm right now. That's probably really sacrilegious to say. Sorry, Jesus. So many people were coming up and saying, oh my God, he's gonna remember you. He's gonna remember the Tassie Devil. And I was actually hyperventilating at this stage. Like I was genuinely thinking, this is how I'm going to die. I am actually going to die. But I didn't. I'm here to tell the story, and here we go. It was my turn to go in. The security guard looks at me and he's like, okay, go. And I was freaking out. Like even though I had been trying to prepare myself for 20 minutes, I wasn't prepared. And the security guard said to me, all right, your turn to go in. And I was like, now? And he's like, yes, now. And I'm like, now? And he's like, yes, now. And I'm like, now. And he's like, for God's sake, go. And I was like, okay. So I went in and Niall was, oh my God, I'm actually gonna cry again. Okay. So I went in and Niall was facing the other direction. I kind of just stood there and I was just like gasping. I was like a fish out of water. I was just gasping for air. I was like, and he turns around and he looks at me and he pauses for a second and he goes, look who it is. At this stage, I started full on freaking out. Like I was panicking. I was a mess. Like I was literally just like doing this, but like worse. And like, it was a lot. I was just, he takes a moment and he looks me up and down and he's like, I see things haven't changed. And I lost it. I was gone. I was like, yep, Jesus, take me now. My life is complete. I have peaked. I am 20 years old and I have peaked. But I didn't peak because more happened. Basically, after that happened, he grabs my hands very gently and he just like this. It's like not that awkward. Like he just like holds that. He does that. He turns to me and he's like, have you seen High School Musical? And I was like, yeah. I don't even think I said yes. I think I just kind of let out this like inaudible grunt, but I agreed. He's like, you know that breathing exercise that Sharpay does? Let's do that together. And then he spends the next like 15 seconds doing that and after that he like grabs my shoulders and he's like, okay, are you okay now? And I was like, not really, but we'll work through it. And then he opens up his arms for a hug. And he opens up his arms for a hug and I'm so excited and so over the top that I jump in to hug him and he falls down. Niall fell down. I hugged him so tight that he fell down. If anyone ever tries to call me small or weak or puny ever again, I'm going to tell them that I lug around 600 kilo animals for a living and then show them the photo of me hugging Niall and making him fall over. By 600 kilo animals, I meant horses, not Niall. Anyway, so he kind of like falls over a little bit and like catches himself on me and he's like, what? He's like, you pulled me over. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. Like I was freaking out. I was like, I have killed Niall Horan. I am literally the worst human in the universe. And he's like, no, it's fine. Come here. So I gave him another hug and I was a lot more like precautious and gentle and timid this time. And that's when we got the photos taken and that's when he hugged me and it was just, And then, hold up. After the hug, he looks at me and he says, I read your letter that you gave me, by the way. Backstory, I gave him a letter in September. When I met Niall in the parking lot in September, I gave him this letter that I wrote. It was really dramatic. It was really over the top. It was really emotional and really deep and personal. I wrote it on like a piece of sketchbook paper and I just like gave it to him and I was like, hey, like take this if you want. And like he took it and like he brought it inside with him and I was like, okay, like whatever, he's probably gonna chuck it out. He didn't chuck it out and he read it and I'm like freaking out. Not only did he read it, but he remembered that I gave it to him. He remembered what it said. He remembered, part of me kind of dying from embarrassment. And the other part of me is kind of just dying, you know? So after all that, I left, I gave him another hug, and I tried to say thank you, but I couldn't. My, words just don't happen with me when I meet him. Every time I've met him, I keep on telling myself, you have been madly in love with this man. That sounds weird. You have been madly in love with this man for 7 years. Please try and not make an idiot of yourself. And I never listen to myself. Why don't I listen to myself? I don't listen to anyone. Why would I be listening to myself? That would be stupid. Isn't it funny how the human brain functions amazingly 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for your entire life until you meet Niall Horan, and then it just turns to nothing. The rooster agrees with me. Thank you for your support. So anyway, I left after that, and then Chloe, my friend who joined me, she was the very last one, and after that, it was all done. Everyone went into sound check. While she was in there with him, I literally just collapsed to the ground. Like, I literally was just like, huh! My entire body just kind of like went numb. I just started kind of like hyperventilating on the floor. Like, I was genuinely like shaking, having an actual panic attack on the floor. There was a security guard and a medic, and they both came running over to me and were like, are you okay? What can we do to help you? Are you like, what can we do? You look distressed. And then one of the girls comes over and she's like, nah man, she's cool, just give her like 5 minutes. And the medic team was like, okay. And then I was fine like 5 minutes later, and I was like, yes, let's go to sound check. So we did. So because Chloe and I were two of the last people to meet him, we were also the last people to get into sound check. And because everyone was trying to like cram in to get to see him really closely, and I'm like, girl, I have just met him. I don't care about seeing him again right now. There was a lot of us who were just like full jamming, just full bopping out the back. And he kept on looking over to us, and he kept on like going like, yes, I see you. Like, yes, girls, get it. He didn't actually say that because he's Irish and he doesn't speak bogan Australian. But like he was thinking it, you know? During sound check, someone asked what his favorite lyric was to any of his songs he's written. And he said his favorite lyric was "Please Don't Leave" from Flicker. And everyone in the room just collectively like awed, and like everyone was just like depressed about it. And I screamed out, who hurt you? I wasn't expecting him to see it because I was like, oh, I kind of just said it to myself. But he looked over and he kind of like gave a little, and I was like, the emotions that I got from Marley and me have nothing on the emotions I felt when Niall physically looked sad at mentioning his own lyrics. So soundcheck was amazing. Like, it was incredible. We all kept getting noticed. He was so chatty. He was so vibrant. He was so beautiful. He's just beautiful. He's a beautiful human being. And then came the concert, and the concert was incredible. I got to go front row, and it was the most incredible experience. All the security guards knew that I was autistic. I told one of them for my own personal safety, because I've been at several concerts where I've had a panic attack, or I've had a fit, or I've had a seizure, or I've freaked out over something, and the guards didn't know what to do because they didn't know that I was autistic, and I was not in a mental mind capacity to tell them that I was autistic at that time. So all the security guards around me knew that I was autistic, and they were all so amazing. I told this woman, and she paged all the other security guards in the area to be like, look after this girl, make sure she's safe, make sure she's okay. The staff at Kudos was so lovely. They let Chloe and I sit together, and I got to go barrier, and I got front and center spot for barrier, and it was just the most insane concert experience of my life. This was not meant to become like a rant or a thank you thingy, but the staff at Kudos are genuinely the sweetest, most beautiful, most kind people I have ever met. And I think I say that about a lot of people, but the older I get, the more that I realize that people are actually really kind. And I used to not think that. I used to think that people were kind of not very nice. And the older I get, the more that I realize that, you know what, people actually are really nice, and you just kind of have to seek out the kind people, because they are there, and it's really freaking cool when you see them. Oh, okay, so barrier is one thing. Like, you guys know, if you guys are concert people, if you guys are people that line up 7 years in advance for a barrier spot, you know the feeling of being a barrier, and it's just like, yes! For this barrier, if you were front row, you got to go to the barrier, you got like given a wristband, but no one else did. So when you were barrier, you weren't just barrier, you were barrier plus like 2 meters. So it wasn't like you're on barrier and you have to stay there, otherwise you will die. It was barrier plus like all this dancing room, and like you could literally like move your hands out and you wouldn't touch anyone. It was just the coolest thing. I love dancing. Like, I can't dance, I fall over myself, but I love just like having a jam and just bopping out and just like having the time of my life. And you really can't do that when you're on barrier, but I like being barrier because then I can breathe. When you're like in the middle section of a concert, it's the worst. You can't breathe, it's awful. And like being at the back is fun, and I've gone to so many concerts where I'm at the back, but being barrier is so much fun because you're literally like in such close proximity to your favorite idol, and it's just like, it's really freaking cool. So being able to bop my heart out and be like a meter away from him, it was just insane. I had the time of my life. It was amazing. It was absolutely incredible. Like, Oh, apparently during it, I was too busy crying and watching and like dying. So I didn't notice, but all the girls that were near me all said that there was several songs where Niall like was watching me dance and was like smiling, and I just like, I'm gonna cry again. Chloe was filming like one of the songs that he was kind of watching me in, and she filmed me dancing and filmed Niall watching me. So I'll post that here.
Show me all that you are. Show me all that you are. Lost in the light. It's okay, I can see it. Nobody can try.
I'm just like, oh, I'm so happy. Like, I'm just really, really happy. Like, this is just, oh, I'm like, what? So the show continued and it was really, I'm crying. Why am I crying? This is pathetic. So Niall threw his pick out. He was like looking at me while he threw his pick, but like it landed kind of like a solid couple of meters away from me because he was like dancing while he was throwing it. So he was like kind of dancing, kind of throwing, and like it just kind of landed like nowhere near me. And there was a group of girls that all kind of like bundled up together to try and like lean over the barrier to get it, and I was like, I'm not even going to attempt to get it. Like, there is literally no point in me trying to get this. After the show ended, he like left the stage and the pick was still there, and the security guard that was directly in front of me, who had been watching me all night, he picked up Niall's guitar pick. Everyone was like, ah, and like trying to grab it and stuff, and I literally didn't. Like, I was literally just like, okay, great, like groovy, concert's over, let's go jam back out at the hotel room and get kebabs. All these girls were reaching out for it, and he like pushes all their hands away, and then he like grabs my hand like this and just like, boop, places the guitar pick in my hand. I have Niall's guitar pick, what the heck? I have it, it's here. This is, wait, I'll show you guys later because I have more stuff to talk about. Everyone was asking for the set list. Everyone was asking for the set list, and he's like, oh, sorry girls, we don't give them out. Chloe goes up and she asks for a set list, and he gives her Niall's set list, and then she goes, oh, can I have one for my friend too? And then he kind of looks over and like looks to see like who the friend is. And when the security guard sees that it's me, he's like, yeah, gives her another set list. And so we get Niall's set list, and I get his guitar pick, and it's just like, it was really, really, really freaking cool, man. Like, what the heck? Here, look. So there's that. Yeah. So that's the set list. And then that's the little guitar pick. And then that's obviously like that was our front row barrier thing. And then that was our meet and greet thing. And then that's obviously the ticket. And then that's our lanyard. And yeah, this is like, you know how people frame like their wedding day things, like with their like bouquet of flowers and like their guest book and stuff? This is the equivalent of me for my wedding day thing, because my wedding day will have nothing on this, ever. You know how like when you're 12 years old and you have like your One Direction posters all over your bedroom? I'm turning into a 12-year-old again. I'm turned 21 next month, and I'm turning into a 12-year-old again. I switched the numbers around. The whole experience was just incredible, and then afterwards there was like a big like DJ party, and it was so cool just having like 100, 200, I don't know, I can't math, I flunked math. But it was just so cool to have like so many girls all just bopping out to One Direction. It was just like, I've spent my entire life feeling like an outcast, and I've spent my entire life feeling like I don't fit in and I don't have a group and that I don't belong. And this group of girls that I don't even know, it's like, not only do I not feel like an outcast, but I feel like I fit in, I feel like I belong somewhere, and I feel like I have a place. And I haven't felt that before. I'm gonna cry. I haven't felt that feeling before. This group and these boys and this whole thing makes me feel like I belong, and it makes me feel like maybe I'm not such an outcast, and it makes me feel like maybe people aren't actually all that bad. And it sounds so silly, but I remember like when I was 13, I used to write Tumblr posts on my Louis Tomlinson fan account, and 13-year-old me had like 15,000 followers back then. Like I was an idiot in real life, and I was a loser in real life, but on the internet when no one knew who I was pretty cool. I was looking back at my old posts yesterday, and the posts were things talking about how upsetting it was that One Direction were my entire world, yet I would never even get noticed by them. And I know it sounds silly, and I know that to someone who isn't part of a fandom, and I know that to adults that are watching this, and I know that to people that don't really care that are watching this, which none of you are because you all have clicked off by now. I know that other people watching this are seeing this and going, well, who cares? It's a boy band. It's like, get over it. But it's so much more than this. I've always seen this band, and I've always seen these people from the internet, and I've always heard their voices, and it's always been something that made me feel like I belonged, but in a really distant scheme of things, because you can only belong to something so much when it's not physical. You can only belong to something so much when you can't see it and touch it and feel it. And going to these concerts and seeing these members and having Niall Horan remember me, and having Harry Styles write a poster to me, it's like, it's so much more than just a boy band. It's so much more than just a stupid obsession. It's so much more than that, and you can't get it unless you're part of it. And I'm just really freaking happy, man. I'm just really, really, really happy right now. The amount of support that I have had from you guys, and the amount of love that you guys have been showing me these past couple of years, really, but like ever since like this whole NIALL thing started, the amount of support and the amount of beautiful messages that I have gotten from you guys is just so insane and so beautiful and so amazing. And I used to be so scared of people, and now I'm starting to see how beautiful and how kind people are. You just have to surround yourself with the right ones, and I think I'm doing that, and it's just really cool, and it's a really amazing, cool, wonderful feeling. Thank you guys so much for this video, and thank you guys so much for all the support that you've been giving me, and the messages and the retweets and like the tweets that you guys are writing up yourselves, and just like being so supportive of all of this, because it's really freaking cool. And it's just, I don't know, man, it's cool. So yeah, that's it. That's the video. That's all I have today. So that's it. That's my video about how I met Niall Horan for the 3rd time and how he remembered me. Make sure you guys like or subscribe or comment, or I don't know, do whatever makes you feel good. Just do what makes you feel happy, man. Yeah. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.